Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In this one we will start to create the notion of an actor. We currently only have solids, but I think yeah, I want to create basically a structure for actors, and after that in the next episode I probably want to create collisions and gravity, and then I can start working on the server, right? So I think that's the path I'm going to take, because currently what we have is already something quite substantial on the client side, as you can see here. So this has caves, background styles or walls. We have basically terrain generation with midpoint displacements and stuff like that. We have quite a few techniques. We have already custom culling, and so I think that we can now start working on the concept of an actor, and start working on adding in the next episode collisions and gravity, right? So we will start working on systems. So the first thing I probably want is to create in here a client folder, right? A client folder, and here, let me think. So here, I probably want to have a global state, right? So I can have something like a app.c, probably. Yeah, I can have an app.c and an app.h. And in here, I can start defining my things, I think. Right, so here I probably want to have my app structure, right? And this is going to include, well, but actors and solids, they will probably need to be shared by the client and the servers. So I probably just want to have a folder here, and I can say this is the base, for example, right? Okay, move this here, like so, and then inside my base, I can probably define all of the things I need. So I don't know if I want to have the base. Well, it can be, right? It can be like this. So I think, wait a minute, I'm having, yeah, my font size is too large. Let me put like 18. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. So here we can copy the structure. This is actually app base slash base. Where is it? So in the client we have a solid and a solid type, and this needs to be placed inside here, right? Here I probably want to include standard int. Cool. Then all of this stuff can probably be copied into my app. So I can probably just have a function like this. I don't know if I want to have this as a global state or, yeah, it can be a global state. So I can basically have updates, right? App update and app draw, and I think that's enough. And so inside my app, I'm basically going to have all of this stuff. Yeah, basically, I'm going to have these things. Right, I'm going to have these things. Then I can include, actually I want to include base, And here, I probably for now also want to include to make the configuration part of the app, even though this is going to be also common, I think, because both the server and the client need to be able to generate a planet, right? But yeah, this can remain like this for now. And here I can probably put this as a uint16 just to save some memory. And this is not needed. Right, and here I can have an external app, right? Variable. And here, do I need this? Yes, I will need this. And here I can include app.age, and I can define my app to be this. Yeah, so this is basically the global state of the game. And then I can just define these two functions. Can define these two. So these can remain. Well, I also want probably an app init, right? And I don't need app close for now, but I can also add it in the future if it ends up being required. And for now, I'm just going to copy all of this. Yeah, I'm just going to copy all of this into here and try to organize it. So this is midpoint displacement. This is my clamp function here. I'm going to use app.terrain is equal to, okay, I need to include stdbool. Then these are the surface heights. I need to use app.surface heights, and here the same thing, app.z, and here also app.z. Cool, so this basically is responsible for terrain generation. So I can just have that, and here I can copy. So this is in its terrain, and currently we only initialize the terrain, right? So I can just copy this function. Cool, and this is my app init. So here, if I include app, well, actually, like this app client app.age, I'm going to have access to all of these functions, and so I can basically initialize the window, initialize all of the window configuration, and I can basically init, or actually app init, right? So this is going to initialize my app. I want to have this kind of detached from Relief, but I still need to think about that, right? Because, so this is a client. Well, the init also depends on Relief because I still haven't implemented a custom random function. So I can keep these things like this for now. Yeah. So do I want my app? Yeah, I can probably also store this inside the app. Yeah, why not? So I can store the camera in my app, and this obviously now needs to import Relief. Like this. Why do I need? Oh, because of solid, right? Yeah. So I can probably put it like that. Cool. So then I need to initialize my camera. I can just copy that, and I can initialize the camera after I initialize the terrain. It's going to be just app.camera, and this is going to be my camera can be just camera 2D, right? Cool, so I don't need this anymore, even though I actually want to detach that. Well, will I need the camera itself to drawing, or do I just need a frustum? That's a great question. Well, I still cannot answer that question. I need to program further to be able to get that and understand what's going on. Okay, so this is my draw function. Right, so this basically draws the entities. So here, this is a plate. I currently don't have anything on update, but basically this is draw entities. What did I just type? Entities. This accepts a camera. This no longer needs to accept the camera because this is always going to use app camera, right? And I also need a frustum, so I can just get that. And I can probably find the frustum here. I need to reorganize this offline, but for now this is going to work just fine. Then I can copy this and put this in above the draw entities, because this basically draws the terrain. Yeah, that's fine. That's just fine. So this draws the terrain, and here I can, inside the app draw, I can just call draw entities, and this can actually be this, right? I can just copy this stuff. Well, actually, need a plate. This needs to be placed inside a plate. Yeah, that's interesting. Cool. So here, if I have this, okay, so basically this draw entities needs to be placed there. Then I need to pass camera here, and this doesn't need anything. And I think that's all, right? So I can indent this properly. Okay, so this is now drawing the stuff. So this function is no longer needed. Yes. And with that, I also don't need this or this or this. Can actually reduce a lot of these calls. And now I basically just need to introduce the notion of a player that is going to be an actor. So players, animals, I don't know, particles, they're all going to be actors, right? So inside the base.h file, I can probably just do something like type def. I don't know if I'm going to keep this inside base, but we can try. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to add too much complexity, but let's see. So this is basically the actor, and currently the actor is only going to contain a box, I think. I think that's the best thing we can have for now. And I think I'm going to implement a rectangle for myself to remove this relief dependency, because I just want to use relief literally for drawing stuff on the screen and post images and also sound and stuff like that. Or maybe it's just fine to use it. The thing is that libuv collides, some names collide with these kinds of stuff, so the rectangle is already taken by the Windows standard, the Windows libs, right? Kernel libs. So I don't know. I need to think about that. So it's not a problem for now. So this is going to be the player box. And also I could have, for now, a color. Why not? So actors can have unique colors. That's fine, I guess. That's just fine. So that is good, right? We can remove that. And now inside my app.age, I need to also have an array of actors. So I can probably say, since I'm already importing base.age, I can say declare a slice of actor, and I can call it just actors, right? And I probably want to have this supported. This is supported. Yeah, I probably want to remove this from here. So yeah, it's more like the C, the C syntax, right? We add these semicolons here. So we just declared a slice called actors that contains a slice of actors. So we can just have a slice of actors. That's cool. And so after that, so this draws all of the entities. Here I can probably say draw solids, right? So this draws all of the solids. Where do I call it? Here. And then I probably also want to draw actors. So I can have a function called draw actors, right? And this is going to be simple. This is going to traverse through all of the actors. So this is app actors length, right? And this also needs to accept the frustum actually. This also needs to accept the frustum. And here I need to use also a relief function. So I really cannot get rid of relief dependency that easily. But basically in relief we have a function. It's like collision. Yeah, check collision rects. I think that this is one. So basically this checks the collision between two rectangles. Yeah. So basically what I need to do is to check if the current player box. So I can, well, I don't really need to extract the actors. Well, later. Yeah, I can extract the actor, why not? So this is the actor we are currently trying to draw. And this is the stuff. So if the actor box collides with the frustum, so we can call it frustum box or something. Yeah, we can call it frustum box. And this is going to be, so the x is going to be frustum dot end x. No, actually start x. Then we get frustum dot start y. And then I need to manually calculate the width and height. But that's simple, so I can actually give names to this stuff. And here I can have width is equal to frustum dot start x, actually and x minus frustum dot start x, and I actually want it to be the absolute value, so I can say ab. Do I have math included? Probably not. Yeah. So let me include math.age. And here I want the absolute value, but I want it for floats. I don't have. But this is from standard lib. I probably have this kind of stuff, don't I? No. What? Yeah, let's assume I have it. And this is just slow. Okay, so then I need height, and this is going to be the same thing, right? So I just need y and y, and that's it. So this is the frustum box, right? So if the actor box collides with the frustum box, then we need to draw it, right? Why is this? Oh, because I need a semicolon here. Then we need to draw something, so we just can copy this. We can copy that, and I can also have this, so I can have some draw calls. Well, oh yeah, it makes more sense to have it here. So these are the draw calls, and then I can have draw calls plus plus, and this is just the actor box. So the colliding box and the drawable, like the drawable box, like the box we use to collide with the world, and the box we use to draw stuff on the screen is going to be the same, right? Just going to simplify a lot of stuff. So we just do actor box, and then we just do actor color. In the future, this is probably going to be texture. I still don't know if I'm going to use textures, by the way. Like, maybe it's not that bad to just use flat colors. Maybe that's what's going to give this game its uniqueness. I don't know. I need to think about that because I'm not very good at drawing at drawing colors, at drawing textures, by the way. So I need to think about it. And here, actually, yeah, I actually can do this outside. So because here we have a frustum, right? Why not also have a frustum and this can be reused by all of the different draw functions we have? So this is the frustum, this is the frustum box. Yeah, I like this, I like this. So we can just reuse that, to be honest. Cool. So here we can draw actors. And these are the solid draw calls, and these are going to be the actor draw calls. And here I can just provide the frustum box, right? And so here I just need to add the solid draw calls and the actor draw calls, and that's it, I think. Cool. So now here, okay, so this draw entities already works, and yeah, I think that's everything, to be honest. Cool, that was easy. That was actually quite easy. Now I just need to move the remaining stuff. So this is a player, we no longer have a player box. We just need to say temporarily, when we have the server is the one that's going to send this information. But for now, we can just have probably slice appends, and we are going to append to actors. We actually need to have our player, so we can say player is equal to something, right? So the box of the player is this stuff, right? Can copy it. Well, let me actually do something like this. So this, then I can just say that dot, and this is an app. Cool. So we have actor, we have a player. This is a player box, right? And then we need the player color. And for now, I think we are just using red, right? So we can just use red. And then we can just append the player to the slices. Oh, this needs to be appended, right? To the slice of actors. Right, so I think that's everything in terms of initialization. But now we actually need to know where the player is in the actors array, right? So we need to have something like an handle to it. I don't know how to. I don't know if I want to use a pointer because that's a bad practice and it's probably going to blow up in the future. But I also don't want to use an index because the slice, depending on how many players connect. Well, but if we can guarantee that if we can guarantee that my player, the user's player, is always the index number 0, that's probably not going to be a problem, right? Yeah, so we can assume that player is always index 0, right? Because if the player is not index 0, and if we have like other players or entities or stuff like that, or like I know particles before the player, So the slice is going to be move around the indices, right? Because we are going to remove and append stuff to the slice. And when we remove, we just basically pop that index out and we move all of the other indices to the left, right? So we're basically shifting the slice. So yeah, the only thing we can do is to guarantee that the player itself is always index number 0. I think that's the only thing we can do. Cool, so here I can just probably just remove that. And inside app update, and here actually, yeah, we can, before doing this, we can assert that actors, actually app actors length is equal to 0. So this is a invariant and we need to assert that just to make sure. We can add assert. Cool. So now we need to check for, this is not really an update, this is more like user input. Yeah, I can call it input. I can add another function here. So basically the inputs, then we update and then we draw. Yeah, that's why not. That seems fine. So we do app inputs. Yeah, so this needs to be in here. Cool, so this can move there. And now we just do app dot actors. Well, I kind of like the idea of having a pointer because this would simplify the updates. Right, so now we currently need to access the player like this. Oh wait, this is going to be box. Right, I actually need to add dot box in here. So this is very verbose. Yeah, this is kind of verbose. So I can have a function. I can have a function that returns me an actor. This kind of like if, yeah, but we're going to call this every frame. So in theory, yeah, it can be fine. So we can just say player get, well, get player or something like this. And this is just going to return me a pointer to this specific actor. So we can modify it and do whatever we want with it. Right. So we can have something like this. Player, and that's a lot easier to work with, I think. So we don't have this massive amount of text on the screen. Right, and it's a bit more explicit. So now everyone that reads the code knows that index number 0 is always going to be the player, because this is very explicit what we are doing. Okay, and here we're going to say app camera target X, and that's going to be fine. Okay, so I can mark this as static. I can probably mark it as inline as well, right? This can be static, and this can be static. That's not static. This can also be static. Right, just to assist the compiler a little bit. This is also static, so we need the terrain. Yeah, all of this is static, I think. Right, and this is already private, and this is public. Okay, so I think that's everything. We can try to now apply all of these changes into here. So we basically initialize the window, set FPS, initialize the app, then we do the inputs, right? Then we need to do the update that we currently don't have anything for update, but we will have basically collisions and gravity and stuff like that in here. And then we just do the drawing of stuff on the screen. Right. Hey, but draw needs to be here, right here. Because if I have multiple kinds of draws, they all need to be under the same begin drawing and end drawing scope. So I can, yeah, probably do that. It's probably better. Cool. Oh, and by the way, since we added dynamic memory, or IP memory actually, we need an app close, right? And this function is basically going to free all of the memory we create during execution. So I can just say, we currently only use the standard lib stuff, so I can just use app.actors, like data, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so this uses base.age, so probably here I want to be the definition. Yeah, so I can probably say define base implementation. And I can just include that, and that's why can't you? Why is, oh, because it needs to be inside app, right? Something like this. Okay. So these are all of the includes, and this is weight height. Okay, I think, oh yeah, here I need to call app close. Okay, and I think this is basically going to be my CMD. It's super simple. I don't think I will need to update it anymore. It already has everything that we need. So let's try to compile everything and see how it goes. Oh, let me try to recompile my build tool, by the way, since I moved stuff from, yeah. Oh, yeah, so base depends on, yeah, I probably don't want that in there, to be honest. I can have another header file, something like entities for now, and I can think about how I'm going to structure this in the future. Once again, like, I'm not a game developer. I've never made a game in my entire life, like a proper game, besides some random stuff. So I don't know what's the usual stuff to do in these situations. But yeah, so I can just probably just move that, and I can just move these two things into here. Cool. So now my app.age just needs to include entities, right? And that's going to be fine. Actors is undefined? No, it's not. Yeah, it's just being slow. Okay, once again, my laptop is very slow. Cool, so now this is going to complain. What is it? What's going on? Unknown type. Why are you? So let me go to my build.c. Oh, because I need a new line, semicolon here, because I added that. Okay, cool. So now my build tool is building, and now I can use the build tool to build the development version of my clients. And is this okay? So it complains, yeah, because I need app init, app input, update, draw, and close. And for that, I basically, so this is my client. So for my client, I can basically just include everything that is inside app clients, and it ends with a .c. Yeah, I think that's just fine. So if I try to build again, it still complains. Oh, because I need to rebuild my build tool. Yeah, of course. If I rebuild my build tool and now, okay, so this is now complaining. Oh, because this is an array of, it makes sense. Since we changed the type of this is no longer integers, this is uint 16. Yep. What else? So there is no absolute what? That is very strange. Okay, but let me include then standards with and probably insert this single here so I don't forget it. So let me see what else. Oh, F. Okay. Float. Where is it? Where did I use it? It was here, right? So it is paths like this. Okay. Yeah, this is for floats, not doubles. Okay. What else? Draw actors needs to return. Yeah, the draw calls. So this is the amount of draw calls we made. Right. Okay. Okay, so we built the stuff. Now inside the bin folder we should have a client, and this client should now have, yeah, it seems to be working just fine, to be honest. It seems to be just fine. Yeah, so nothing much changed. We just added, but now we support multiple actors, right? So we can probably try to draw something interesting on the screen just for the sake of it. So here we initialize our app. I can probably say for now this is just test calls. Right. I can have something like, I don't know, blue gnome or something, and this is going to be equal to the player. I'm just going to change the color of the blue gnome to blue. You were able to guess it, right? So this is a blue gnome, and if I run all of this again, actually I need to recompile it. Okay, recompile and run, probably easier. Okay, so now, yeah, we can draw multiple actors, as you can see. So we have one actor here, we have the player. I can probably move it up a bit. So here on the box dot y, I need to move the amount of height, yeah, and then I can also have like a, what kind of colors we have? A purple gnome or something like that. So let's just change this name, be purple, right? And this is purple, and I can probably shift it a little bit in terms of X, like 5 tiles to the right, and here I need to append purple gnome. Okay, so we should now have like 3 actors on the map. Yeah, as you can see. So this is the opposite of what I wanted to move them up. I forget that negative y is up. Yeah, so basically that's it. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. So we can have multiple actors. They all can have. Oh, this is interesting. So the fact that my player is always the 0th index, it's going to be rendered always behind stuff. I don't know. I don't like that because if I like but if I have particles, I probably no. I probably want to render the player above or in front of the particles. I need to check that, but that's easy to fix, right? I can just do this, then this is actually -1, -1, and this is greater or equal than 0, and then I do minus minus, and boom, that should fix the problem, right? So now we should draw the player in front of everything. Or maybe not, I actually probably made a mistake. Let me see. So this is length. Where did I make mistake? I probably, let me change this to an integer to not have any underflow. Actors draw length. -1 is greater or equal to 0. Yeah, probably it overflowed because it was size d, right? Yeah. Okay, so now as you can see, we are drawing the player in front of other actors. So that looks good. That looks very good. Cool. So I think that's everything I wanted to do for this episode. We did some quite interesting refactor and we added support for multiple actors. So that's already something quite interesting. And in the next episode, I'll probably start working on collisions. Since we already have an update function. Yeah, it will be more or less easy to navigate this. Yes, yeah. Okay, so I think that's everything for today. So thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one.